All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode, Scary Hours Podcast. I am your host, DJ Los, and this is my good friend, Shiva Kailash Shambho, 50-year-old spiritual meditation master. Make sure you guys follow him on his channel, Shiva Kailash Shambho. Figure out how to spell it. Good luck with that. Today we have a video. What would you tell your 18-year-old self with the knowledge and the wisdom that you have now? And just so everybody knows, this is a video requested by one of the channel members. So this member decided to buy a membership, and one of the perks of becoming a channel member is that you get to request one video per month on the topic that you would like us to discuss. And he chose the topic, what would you tell your 18-year-old self? And so I'm going to talk about it. Shiva's going to also talk about it, even though he's still basically 18. Shout out to you, Shiva. I don't know. What would your 18-year... And yeah, I think it's actually a good topic that he brought up. I think there's many things I could tell my 18-year-old self looking back at it right now. And yeah, let's see, Shiva, what do you think about it?
Yes, I don't think back to my life. I don't have any regrets, but I would definitely do some different things. I would figure out who Sadhguru is and go study him. That's what I would do differently.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so shout out to Krish. This video is for you, Krish. I love how you always say stuff like I don't have regrets, but I would definitely do some different things. That means you have regrets. What are you talking about? It's like, hello, like, do you hear yourself? Anyway, so let's get into it. You said so. The first thing you would do if you were 18. So what were you doing when you were 18, Shiva?
Oh, I was, just quite an ignorant.
Be honest. Be honest. Don't give us the nonsense. Be real. Like let's talk about it. You were eating meat, first of all. Eating chicken wings, probably pepperoni pizzas.
Yeah,
Probably watching a little corn. You know what I'm saying? Probably doing a little recreational. Uh-oh. Am I right?
I don't know how you found all those things, but unfortunately, yes, that's correct.
Typical 18-year-old behavior, right? Probably wasting a lot of time. Probably didn't have a job. Probably not many aspirations, not many goals. No girlfriends. Just basically who you are now, minus the recreational stuff.
Yay.
Okay, so you look back at all that. You look back at all that stuff, and so basically you would skip all that, right? You would skip all that. You don't think that was maybe part of the process, maybe?
Skip? What do you mean, skip all that?
Everything I just mentioned, like, doing recreational, watching corn, eating pizza.
Oh, definitely.
Pepperoni pizza.
If I had to go back in time, I would definitely not do any of that stuff. If I were to guide myself, hey, buddy, just please stay away from all these stuff and live a nice, healthy, wholesome life. Study some Sadhguru, you'll be fine.
That's funny. Okay, so let me think about it then. So, but what I'm asking you is, do you think it was part of the process? Do you think it was necessary? You get what I'm saying? Like, what I'm trying to get at is, I kind of believe that you had to go through all that. Maybe that's what got you to Sadhguru, was you went the wrong way, felt the consequences. And this is part of like what I want to talk about, is that a lot of the times when we ask these questions like, oh, what would you tell your 18-year-old self, is because we're trying to circumvent the path. We're trying to get a shortcut through the journey. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But there is no shortcut. It's like you got to go through it all. You got to feel all of the pain. You got to make mistakes. You got to have regrets. You got to, all of it. That's all part of it. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying, Shiva? You understand what I'm saying, or you don't understand what I'm saying?
I understand perfectly well what you're saying, but if we're gonna go this magical route of going back in time, and no, I would not do any of those things. I would just, hey, maybe that I found Sadhguru by doing these unwholesome things. But if I did wholesome things faster, maybe I would have found Sadhguru much faster. So yeah, I would definitely tell my 18-year-old self, hey, don't do these things. Stay away.
But then maybe you wouldn't even appreciate Sadhguru. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what I'm saying, guys. Like first of all, stop trying to avoid pain and suffering. Pain and suffering is part of the plan. It's built into the system. Okay, what do you think? Your body just creates it for no reason? You know what I'm saying? These are indicators. Your body's trying to tell you something. So what I'm proposing to you, Shiva, is that you had to go through it and thank the universe, thank God, thank whoever. Be grateful that you suffered intensely. Remember, you used to cry on video. Okay, and then you were like, I need to change my life, man. What do I do? What do I do? And then boom, Sadhguru landed on your Instagram feed while you were flipping through watching girls shaking booties. And then all of a sudden you saw Sadhguru and something. Wow, this is what I've been looking for. You get what I'm saying? And you wouldn't have had all of that if it wasn't for the suffering, the pain and the suffering.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're right. But well, at least that's one thing I would have liked to do differently, or I would have found Sadhguru much faster. That's what and also, what else would I do differently? Yeah, maybe I'd invest in Google or some crypto. That would also be good.
You would have got into Solana at that point.
Yes,
That would have been the move.
100%.
But yeah, no. So for me personally, I'm gonna take the flip side of what you just said, right? So like you're basically taking the side of like, oh, I wish I would have reached perfection sooner. No, not for me. I would have did the opposite. So for Chris, if you want to hear my specific answer, is I wish I would have messed up even more. I wish I would have did more suffering, more pain, more mistakes. You know, the one thing that I realized, you know, is like something my dad used to say, and I think I told you this many times, Shiva, but my dad didn't have too many wise. He was never really that type of dad that sat you down and gave you like really good advice. He used to just call me a loser all the time, make fun of me, and tell me I was doing everything wrong. That was basically how I grew up, right? But there was this one thing that he used to say whenever I would like, you know, talk about things that I wanted to change in my life. He would say, "That's not how you flip a pancake." And I never do. I never understood. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? It's not how you flip it. So basically, what I realized years later was that he was trying to explain to me that there's a way of doing things, right? So we have in our mind like, oh, you know, this is how I'm gonna do it, whatever, whatever. But that's not how you flip the pancake, right? And so for men, what I want men to understand out there is that in order for you to change, the catalyst for change is always pain and suffering. Okay, so shout out to pain and suffering. All of it, all sorts of pain, embarrassment, shame, guilt, hurt, you know, all of it, all of that pain and suffering. You have to put yourself through it, and then that's how you flip the pancake. That's what ultimately I learned growing up. Was like I was like, man, why do I hate my life so bad? Why is it so terrible? Why do women hate me? Why don't I have money? Why do I have to stay here in my dad's house? Why does he get to tell me what to do all the time? He's always busting into my room. He's always yelling at me. He's always making fun of me. He's always this. He's always that. Like, did you hate your life at the time, Shiva? Be honest. I, I pretty much. Did you hate it? Yes or no,
Yes,
Shiva?
yes, yes. It wasn't too pleasant.
How bad did you hate it? Because I remember I used to watch your videos. You used to cry, so you
Nine
pretty
out,
much you hated it,
nine out
huh?
of 10. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10 hate, exactly. And you know, I think a lot of young people are in that stage in their life. But this is what I want you to understand, okay, guys? For everyone who's going through that phase, that we all look. Me and Shiva, we're completely different people, but yet we both went through that similar stage where we hated our life, bro. I'm telling you, without saying it, I'm gonna have to say it. Uh, there was times where I'm sitting there like, what the heck? I would rather, you know, uh, exist in the spiritual world at this point. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Instead of being here, if you catch my drift, right? And because it was ridiculous, it was terrible. It was terrible, and it just kept getting worse after even after 18. You know that I started working when I was 15. I hated that. That sucked. I had to go to school, then I had to go to work every day, and then do homework, and boom. I did that for years, and then turn 18. All of a sudden, your dad wants you to get an even better job, make more money, work more hours, so that you can get your own apartment, kick you out of the house, make you homeless. And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And it gets terrible. And then even until now, it's still just getting worse. So, but what it does is that depending on who you are, that pain and that suffering could be the catalyst for change that you need. So again, what I would say to myself is if I could go back, I would tell myself two things. I would say, number one, appreciate this pain and suffering that you're going to. And number two, spend less time worrying about it so much and complaining and being a little sissy about it, and actually look at it for what it is, which is your body and your mind and your soul trying to tell you that you need to make some changes. Okay, that's the answer. That's what I would tell my 18-year-old self.
Wow. So Krish, shout out to Krish, my Discord server member, someone very important in my YouTube channel. I don't have any regrets, as I said. This, hey, it's like, yeah, I would do 1,000 things differently. Would have invested in Google when I was born. The first time I started talking, hey, come on, Google time. So there's no point of going back in your mind and thinking, oh, I should have done this or shouldn't. Yeah, okay, it's valuable to learn your lessons. Oh my God, I'll never do this again. Jesus, that was terrible. But maybe some advice. I guess you're giving advice to people that are 18 years old. Some advice that I have for someone that's 18 or a young man. What would I do? What would I say? Watch Sadhguru's videos. You know all about it. Sadhguru, the wisest master to ever live. What else would I do? Invest. Think about long-term investing. Many years, I'm saying. Take care of your body. Take care of your mind. Stay away from intoxicants. Eat less animal products. Eat more whole foods. Meditate more, and watch Carlos's videos. That's all you need in your life.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Watch Carlos's videos. Shiva, would you have started your YouTube channel earlier, do you think? How about that?
Absolutely.
Why not?
No, because I wasn't ready to do this. So it was
You weren't ready when you started this time either. You sucked.
I was.
You were not ready. You were never ready. The point is that, look, and that's what I was going to say is, look, when you're 18 years old, the beautiful thing that you need to realize, the most valuable thing that you have at that time, you have absolutely no experience. You have absolutely no knowledge, no wisdom, no nothing. You suck at everything. Let me just tell you right now, if you're 18, you suck. Okay? Everyone who and everyone who's older than you, they know it. And the whole world knows that you suck. You suck at everything pretty much. Most of you. I'm not going to say all of you, but probably 99% of you. You suck at everything and you're probably wrong about everything, okay? But what I want you to understand is this. You need to do what you do have on your side is that you have time on your side. And that's one thing that nobody could take from you. As much as you suck, you have a lot of time to fix that. And that's what you need to take advantage of during that time period of your life. So what you need to do is you need to try as many things as possible. Right? Put your like you got an idea for a business, go do it. It's gonna fail because again, you suck. You don't know anything, right? You need to try these things out. You need to do, and again, you're gonna get these ideas in your head, and you're gonna say, "Oh no, that's stupid. Let me not try that." And then you get another idea. Oh no, that's stupid. Let me not try. That's where you're messing up right there. Every time you get an idea, you need to immediately put it into practice. From that instant, like as soon as the idea crosses your mind, boom, try it out, and then make all the mistakes that you can. Give it your best. Make all the mistakes you possibly can. You're gonna mess it up. It's gonna fail. You're gonna lose money. You're gonna piss your parents off. Whatever, it doesn't matter, because the thing about being 18 is you can lose money. You can mess up, but you have a lot of time to do what? To recover. Okay, and that's what's That's what's important about being 18 years old. I would say even up until the age of 30, you still could just make mistakes as long as you don't have kids now. If you have kids, it's a different story. But if you don't have kids and you're 18, 19, 20, 21, 25, 28, maybe I wouldn't push it all the way to 30. I think by 30 you should figure yourself out, but maybe all the way up until 28, go ahead and just make all the mistakes that you possibly can, because that's the time period where you still have a lot of time where if you mess up a lot, you can still recover. So that's what you need to keep in mind.
Yeah, we have Krish in the chat. Krish, this is a video requested by you, so thank you very much. And Denzel Washington, the famous movie celebrity, he said this, he quoted this recently. I saw this. He said, "In the beginning of your life, you learn. In the middle of your life, you earn. And in the end of your life, you return."
That sounds super.
So
Chris, shout out to you, Chris, in the chat. I wanted to let you know. So right now, Shiva's live streaming this. You probably missed half of it. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna upload the whole thing from beginning to end, so you can watch it on my channel whenever you get a chance. Yeah. So according to what that guy just said, this is the thing that I want everybody to understand. Life is a lesson, right? But the thing about life is that by the time you learn all the lessons, that's it. It's the end of your life by that time. So don't ever think that you're gonna like, oh, I gotta wait till I got it all figured out and then I'll start on my journey. No, that's not how it works. Okay, you're just gonna start your journey. Okay, and you're gonna learn along the way. You're gonna roll with the punches. It's gonna be dirty. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna hurt. You're gonna fail. People are gonna make fun of you. Your mom and dad are gonna tell you you're doing everything wrong. Nobody's gonna believe in you. But you gotta have ultimate faith in yourself. That's another thing I would tell my 18-year-old self. Is just say, you know what? Forget what everybody thinks. This is my life. Forget you. Sorry, dad. Sorry, mom. But this is my one and only life. I gotta do what I gotta do to make myself happy, to make myself successful, because you know what? At the end of the day, when you guys get old, no matter what you thought about me, I'm gonna be the one taking care of you at that point. So let me figure it out and mind your business. Sorry for saying it that way.
Yep, correct. Made lots of mistakes when I was young, and that's the time to do that. You have lots of energy, time to go and explore, make lots of mistakes, and that's the time to learn. That's not the time to be safe. I did lots of crazy things at 18 or in my earlier years. Now I'm finding a little bit more stability, which is what I like.
Yeah. One thing I wish I did avoid too, like according to to agree with you, is I did wish I avoided a lot of doing the recreational stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Wink wink. A lot less drinking, a lot less hanging out with friends. Well, and let me put it this way, friends, because at the end of the day, what you're gonna realize, bro, is you don't have no friends. Okay, I promise you, bro. I'm 37 years old. I probably have 2 friends. Okay, and after 37 years of my life. But when I was 18, oh my God, I thought everybody was my friend. I thought I had 40 friends. You know what I'm saying? But then I realized, oh, every time something really serious happened in my life, nobody was around. It was just nonsense. They were just there because, oh, maybe Carlos had a little bit of money to put on the drink or to put on the, whatever else. And then, it was just that. It was just transactional. But you learn and you realize, that's another thing I would tell my 18-year-old self is this. Put your time and energy into the people who actually matter and who actually seriously, really, really, really care about you. Okay, and who's that? That's your mom, that's your dad, that's your aunts and uncles, maybe some of your cousins, maybe not all of them, but maybe a couple of them, 1 or 2, and maybe like 1 or 2 good friends. But keep your circle small and focus on the people who actually care about you. And that brings me to the next point in this conversation. is women. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. All the money and time wasted on women. Shiva, you got anything to say about this topic about women when you were 18?
I never do.
No, no. When you were 18, don't act like you weren't trying. The 18 was a different Shiva.
Yeah, 18 years old. Yeah, girls, ladies, I wanted to make a previous point well before we get into this that
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, something about financial stability and money and yeah, you need to that's what it is. You need to learn, meaning you have to acquire valuable skills early in your life so you don't have to be
Mhm.
a wage earner for the rest of your life. That's not what you want to
A
do.
wagey, a brokey.
Yeah. Don't do that. So invest your life into a valuable skill, whatever that is, and it'll pay off later down the line.
Yeah, that's what you all should be focusing on. When you're 18, listen, even not even when you're 18, even now that I'm 40, bro, I'm telling you, when you're 18, that's all that I know. I already know. Everybody who's 18 out there, I know this is what you're thinking. The only thing you care about is women. That's all you care about. And even most 40-year-old, 30, 40, 50, I know 60-year-old guys that that's all they think about is women. That's all they care about is, oh my God, where the girls at? Where the girls? Are there any girls? Is there gonna be girls there? Where's the girls? I don't know. They just got this sick addiction with women. And I did too when I was 18, right? And what I'm trying to explain to you is that when I look back at my life now, the less that I focused on what the hell it was that women were doing, and I just focused more on what I needed to be doing, then all of a sudden, just magically, women just appear out of nowhere. So she was absolutely right. So if I go back and talk to my 18-year-old self, this is what I'm gonna say to you guys. If you listen to any rap song, if you listen to any song, basically, most of the songs, the message is women come and go, and people come and go, and in and out of your life, and you have no control over that. Okay. So what I need you to do is I need you to focus on things that you do have control over. Okay? If you focus on women, she could, you could put all your time, all your energy, all your money, and she could still just go with the next dude whenever she feels like it. And she will, and it's going to happen if you're 18. Trust me, it's going to happen to you many times over, okay? So what you do is you focus on things that cannot be taken away from you. What are those? Like Shiva just said, you need to focus on learning, meaning what? Your education. You need to focus on your physical fitness, so going to the gym. And you need to focus on your finances. Okay, so those three things. If you focus on those three things, those are things that it doesn't matter. Women, like I'm not telling you to ignore women or to swear them off or whatever. If they want to, if somebody pops up, they pop up. If they leave, they leave. Cool. But the entire time, I don't care if you're happy or if you're depressed or if you're sad or no matter what's going on. So this is life, right? Life is like this, up and down, up and down, up and down. Emotions fluctuating. One day I'm happy, one day I'm sad. One day I'm happy, one day I'm sad. You have no control. I want you to understand you have no control over that. Okay? But while life is doing this little wave pattern, up and down, up and down, up and down, I need you to stay like this the whole time. You just keep going forward. And the way that you do that, this you read any book, any classic book on self-development, the first thing they tell you is to write down your goals. Okay? And I'm gonna tell you this. I used to always think it was lame, right? Because like, what do you mean write down my goals? That's like I know what my goals are. I could just leave it in my head. Okay? I don't need to write it down. What's the point of writing it down? But I'm gonna tell you what the point of writing it down is, okay? And I'll tell you how you should write it down. Don't write it down in your little diary. Don't write it down in a little notepad because that's what when I first heard, oh, write down your goals. I was like, you know what? I got so tired because no matter, I bought a lot of self-help books when I was at that age. And every single one of them, for some reason, they all said write down your goals, and I'm like, at first I was like, this is stupid, but finally I was like, there's so many books that said it that I was like, fine, let me try it. So what I did was I wrote down my goals into a little little notepad and write it down, and then I would put it in my drawer. And then I'll be like, okay, I wrote it down. Now what? Nothing's happening. This is stupid. Like, right? And then I realized, no, you don't need to write it down in that way. You need to put it somewhere big. Okay? You need to get yourself like a chalkboard or like some, I don't know, some just big piece of paper that you can hang on your wall and write your stuff down there. Okay? Put two or three things down. I wouldn't say don't go crazy because you don't want to stretch yourself too thin, but just put two or three things there to say these are two or three things that I need to focus on daily. Okay? And you put that somewhere that you're gonna see it every single day, whether you plan on looking at it or not. Okay, so I used to put mine, for example, like by the door, like my exit and entry of my house. So no matter what, every day I had to go, I would come in and out of my house at some point, right? So no matter what, when I would walk past my door, there it is, staring me in the face. Oh, you need to read a book today. Oh, today you need to do some research on starting a business. Oh, today you need to make sure how many clients you need to call per day. Oh, or today this is whatever, right? And that's what they, and you know why you need to do that? Because this is what, and Shiva, I'm pretty sure you can relate to this. When you were 18 and you were going through the pain and suffering, be honest, there were times you couldn't even think straight, right?
Yep, absolutely right.
There was plenty of times where you're just so caught up in misery that you don't even know what day of the week it is. You don't even know. You're like, who am I? I don't even know what my name is right now. Especially if you're dealing with females. If you're dealing with females, or you're dealing with a girl, you're in love. All of a sudden, she breaks up with you. Now you're depressed, right? She leaves you. Now you're depressed. You're like, oh, I can't even get out of bed. Oh my God, right? Like all this stuff. So this is why you write stuff down, because in the moment when your brain is all scrambled, and it will happen to you inevitably whether you messing with girls or not, because either you get girls in your life and they come and go and they leave you, and that leaves you depressed, or you have no girls and then that's going to make you depressed as well. So either way, you're going to go through these moments of depression, or somebody's going to make you mad, and you won't be able to think straight. I remember me during that time period, it was like I was in a constant storm. Like I felt like it was a hurricane every day in my head. I had anxiety issues, depression issues, and if I didn't have these things written down on my wall, it'd be easy to forget. It'd be easy to just, like I wouldn't think about it. But once I started writing stuff down, it was there, and like no matter, like it's like having like a flashlight. Let's say you're walking, in those times when you're going through deep suffering, you kind of feel like you're just in the darkness, right? You don't know where you are. You're like, where am I standing? Where am I going? Wait, what was I supposed to do again? I forgot. But boom, you got your stuff written on the wall. You see it. Oh yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay, let me focus. Let me get back on track. And you stick to it. Okay?
Yeah, Krish says, yes, absolutely. He's spitting facts. That's how I establish routines, like taking neem and turmeric, supplements daily, or doing yoga.
Correct, exactly. And again, Chris, I hope you watch this video from the beginning. When I re-upload this, I'm gonna upload this from the beginning. The other thing, Shiva, you got anything else to add to that point before we switch to the next thing?
Not right now.
Okay, so the next thing I would tell my 18-year-old self is I would automate. This is the thing, is very important, guys. Automate savings. Okay, that's the other thing I would tell my 18-year-old self. So I don't know about you, Shiva. How was it for you with saving money? I'm not even Katie, I feel like not even asking you this question, but let's just ask you just for the sake of fun. How were you at saving money?
I didn't really save money.
Didn't save a dang thing, right? Even if you made a couple dollars, I don't know if you did or you didn't. But me too. I told you I was working since I was 15 years old. Ask me how long it took me to save before I saw my first $1,000 in my bank account. It wasn't until I was like 20, 27 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because all I would do is I would get paid, and then I'm like, oh, I got money, and I would just spend it all. I spent every single penny of it, right? Until now I'm broke. It's Thursday. I gotta wait till Friday to get paid and the check to clear and da da da. And that's how I live my life, right? And then I would hear people say, you know, in order to get out of this rut that you're in, or this cycle of being in the rat race or being living paycheck to paycheck, they would say, you know, you have to save money. And so I'd be like, okay, I need to save money. Let me save. Okay, boom. So I would start saving. So I'll put a little $20 here, $20 there, 20, you know, maybe 100 one week, whatever. The max I would ever get to was like 500, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh crap, this is enough to buy a PlayStation. Here we go. And then the money was gone. And it was, so again, wasting my time the whole time, right? And so one thing that I would tell my 18-year-old self is this. Don't make it, first of all, save money, right? That's number one. But also number two is don't make it so easy. Don't put your money somewhere where it's so easy for you to go ahead and spend it all over again. Okay? And I'll tell you how I did that. So this is what I ended up doing, right? The first thing that I did that actually I ended up finding this on I forgot who's that old. There's an old white dude that he gives financial advice. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, Shiva.
Bob Proctor?
Is it Ramsey? No, it's not Ramsey, right? I don't know. It's some
Dave
white
Ramsey.
dude that he gives. Dave Ramsey? Is it Dave Ramsey? He gives financial advice?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so it's probably him anyway, but he I think it was him. I don't know who it was. It could have been him or somebody else. I could have been him or Tony Rod. Somebody said it. Somebody said you need to have multiple bank accounts. And that's the first thing that I realized. I was like, yeah, because the thing was like, you know, all I had was my one checking account, right? All my money went in there. But what's the problem with having your one checking account? Is that it's tied to your debit card, right? Now it's tied to your debit card. All of a sudden, wherever you are, oh, here's my debit card. Boop, swipe, 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 and your money it's like you have a hole in your boat. You know what I'm saying? You're just constantly just leaking out water the whole time. So what I ended up realizing was from that advice was I opened up a whole different bank account. Okay, a whole different bank account, not the one that I would normally have in my pocket, my debit card. A whole different bank account with a whole different debit card and that debit card, I would not take it with me. That's what I did first. So whenever I was out, I only had access to one of the bank accounts, not the other one, right? So whatever money I saved, when I was out, I had some impulsive decision all of a sudden come across my head. Oh, I don't got money, so too late, too bad. I got to deal with it. And good thing they didn't have Apple Pay back then. It's even worse now because you could do Apple Pay. You could put all your cards in there and you got your money with you no matter what, no matter where you go. But finally, what I ended up finding though was even better. Was I found these apps, right? And so like they got these apps now. One of them is called Opportune. Another one is called Capital. Look them up. Capital with a Q. Opportune without the E at the end. So you know how to spell Opportune. But these are automated savings applications. This for me was a game changer. So in order to save money, that was the other thing, was automate your savings. Because again, when I left it up to my own hands, my own willpower, sometimes I didn't do it. Right? Okay, sometimes I save 20, sometimes I save 100, and then I'd be like, forget that. I want to spend all my money, and then I just wouldn't do it sometimes, right? So my bank account never really grew. But then what I heard, again, one of these guys, Dave Ramsey or Tony Robbins or somebody, right? They said, automate your savings, right? There's ways where you can automate. There's certain apps or there's even certain bank accounts where you can automate your savings, right? You can set up a automatic plan on your account where it sends your money somewhere else. And so, like I said, for me, the first one was this app called Opportune. It was actually called something else at the time, but now it's called Opportune. You pay like $5 a month for it, but this is what it does. It sneaks money out of your bank account and it puts it into another account, like an Opportune account. But the good thing about the Opportune account is there is no debit card for it. So it takes money out of your bank account and it sneaks it into the app without you realizing it. It takes $1 here or $2 there, sometimes $5, sometimes $10, depending on, it checks your spending habits and it says, okay, It kind of does its own calculation using some sort of algorithm. I don't know what. And it says, okay, this is probably what he needs for his bills. If I sneak this much out, he probably won't notice it. Let me sneak it out before he spends it. And the app does that. And it puts it into this account that, like I said, has no debit card linked to it. Right. And so if you want that money, then you got to hit, transfer it to bank account. It takes like 5 to 7 days. By the time that happens, you're like, whatever, you already moved on. You don't even want to buy the thing that you wanted to buy. So it makes it, you're putting an extra barrier between you and the money, right? So one thing, it automates your savings, and then it has a barrier that between you and the money. And then so what ended up happening was, and it also, like, because when I would look at my bank account, it's easy to see how much money I have, right? But I would look at my bank account and I'd say, okay, this is what I can spend. But then I would forget that I even had that other app in my phone, right? So I would just, okay, look at my bank account. Okay, boom, this is how much I have. I'll spend it, and I would spend it. But then I'd be like, every like 2 or 3 months, I remember, I got this stupid app. I forgot I got this app that's taking money out of my account every day. Let me go look at it. Oh wow, I got $5,000. That's crazy. Oh, okay, cool. Now we're talking, right? And then boom. So what would happen is, at that time I realized, wow, now I got $5,000. Right? So guess what I did at that point? All of a sudden now I'm on YouTube, right? What kind of business can I start with $5,000? You know what I'm saying? Now we're talking. So that's the next thing. Shiva, you got anything to say on that before I switch to my next point?
There's also another app called Acorns. It takes a few pennies and it rounds out your bank account to an even number. So it's also something that sneaks money out of your account. Acorns.
Yeah, Acorns. But I think Acorns invests your money right into the stock market as well.
Actually,
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I think I had that one too. That one is cool. It just, obviously it just depends. If the stock market's doing good, then you be making money. But if it's doing bad, you still be losing money. So I don't know. It's up to you. You could do whatever you want. But anyway, save your money, automate it, take it out of your hands, so that way it doesn't require any willpower or anything. Just automate it, set it, and forget it. Number one. The next point with that transitioning, once you have that money saved up, and I just want to let you know this off rip, okay? You need to start a business, okay? I don't care what it is. Stop being a wagey. Stop being a brokey. Stop making somebody else a millionaire. Okay, I've given this example 1,010 times. You've heard me say this 1,010 times, Shiva. When you're working for somebody else, they're paying you depending on what your age is or what your skill set is, they're paying you somewhere between $10 to $20 an hour, okay? Which is literally ridiculous, okay? If I take out $10, $15, $20 right now and give it to you, I could just tell you what to do for a whole hour. It's like you're a slave at that point. So don't do that. What you want to do is you want to start your own business. So if I went back and told my 18-year-old self, first thing I would say is save your money. Don't focus on women. Focus on things that can't be taken away from you. And then every time you get $5,000, because I promise you, there's like almost no business that you couldn't start with $5,000. And this is what I kept noticing every time I wanted to start something, right? Because this is the thing, guys. Life will sometimes present you with the right people will come across your life, and then they'll say, "Hey, this opportunity came up. This is a good investment or a good business plan. You want to jump in?" And you have no money in your bank account. You're like, "Oh, I can't do it," and then all of a sudden you missed out, right? So you got to be always prepared, right? And so what started happening with me is every time I had $5,000 and either I got a good intuition, some business idea came to my head, boom, I had the money to get it going, right? Because you don't want to lose momentum. You always want to be available for when the universe, when the source sends you these signals, you can just jump right on the idea right away, okay? So you save the money. These opportunities come, either you meet somebody or an idea comes across your head. Now you have the money ready to go and you get it going, okay? So you want to start your business. Now, why do you want to start your business? Because you can literally pay yourself whatever you want. And I want you to understand that, guys. There's nothing more liberating, more freeing, more whatever than being able to pay yourself what you want, choosing your own customers, not having a boss, waking up whenever you feel like it, working the days you want. There is no other way to live your life. Okay, being somebody's employee is literally the worst feeling on the entire planet. And I think Shiva, you can agree with that, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Which is why Shiva has never held a job in a day in his life. So shout out to Shiva for that.
No, I've had jobs. I had lifeguard jobs, and that was the one of the worst times in my life. Even though they paid okay, at least for the time, they paid like above minimum wage, or they paid pretty good for the age that I was in. I had to
Mm,
wake up every morning that I didn't want to wake up and go and sniff chlorine, and the pool is chlorinated, and do all this, and sit in a chair and just watch people swim. Like, oh my God, this is torture.
yeah, yeah. And I remember for me, especially, like I had the same situation. So like I would have like I always held like corporate jobs. Like I would work in an office and stuff like that. And I would have to wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, then drive like an hour and a half in traffic, and then get to work, and then work 8 hours, and then 2 hours going home, and spend my whole entire day doing nonsense. And then I would make like $500 a week. It was ridiculous. And you know what else? What was messed up with that? That I realized it just wasn't fitting within like what was going on with my life at the time. Like, bro, sometimes you wake up and you're just not ready to go to work. Sometimes you wake up and you're just massively depressed or something, or something's going on in your life, and you're like, oh man, I still gotta stick to this stupid like job. Like, oh my God, and I gotta deal with people's nonsense. You don't have to deal with that when you're your business owner, right? If you need a break, if you need to wake up a little later one day and just take a mental health day, you could do that when you're a business owner. Okay, so make sure definitely become a business owner. Um, yeah,
Yeah. Also, just relax up there if you're 18 years old and you're suffering. Oh my God, I need to be somewhere, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. I need to be a millionaire. That's what I thought. I need to be a millionaire quick. Well, that's so true, but maybe not so quick it'll happen. So
definitely
relax.
not gonna happen quick at all.
Yeah, relax, meditate, calm your mind down a little bit, and enjoy your life. You're freaking 18 years old, Jesus.
That's one thing I also would tell my 18-year-old self is that you need to get ready for the long haul, guys, okay? Because I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're going to be a DJ. I don't care if you're going to cut grass. I don't care whatever it is. It's going to take you about 5 years at least doing the same one thing over and over and over again before you actually get good at it and before you actually start making some serious money. And so, first of all, you need to find something that you actually like, because if you don't like it, you're not going to stick through it. You're not going to stick with it that long. Okay? And so take if you have any concepts of like, oh, quick money, quick money, quick money, get that crappy idea out of your head right now, okay? Get that immediately out of your head. That is complete nonsense, okay? You need to focus on something in your head, okay? Whatever it is that I'm going to end up doing is going to take me 5 to 7 years. Okay? So you pick the thing, you're gonna spend lots of time researching. Okay. I remember once I realized, okay, dang, I have $5,000 in my bank account, and then I started doing research on YouTube, like, okay, what can you do? What kind of business can you start? I used to spend like so much time. Like, obviously I had a job, but like whenever I wasn't at my job, and whenever it was the weekend, the entire time from when I left my job till nighttime, and then all weekend long, all I would do is just research, 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 research. Do not underestimate the amount of research that you need to be doing to make sure that you find the right thing that it is that's going to be for you. Okay. The other one that I would say, and this is going to sound a little boring, and you guys might not like this, but you need to read some books.
Educate yourself.
Educate yourself. So Shiva, let me get your opinion on what do you think about reading books?
I read lots of books when I was younger. Books are great, especially books on communication, social skills, and business, influence, persuasion. Very valuable stuff. Read some books. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first book that I would recommend anybody who's 18 to read, and this might sound stereotypical or whatever, I don't care whatever you might think about this, get yourself the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay? Shiva, did you ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
People told me to read it, but it just never kind of caught up to me.
Okay, I need every single person on the planet Earth who's 18, go get yourself the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That is the book that changed my life, okay? Once I read the book and understood the concepts in it, it helped me see from a bird's eye view what it is that I was doing wrong, why that was going to be the wrong thing for the rest of my life, and why I needed to change it. And it absolutely changed my life. So again, if I was 18 years old, what I would tell myself is read books. Let me tell you something about books, okay? What is books basically? So books, you got to think about this. Imagine if you went to go write a book, right? Like Shiva, right now, if you wrote a book, could you write a book right now, Shiva?
Probably not.
Probably not, right? Why couldn't you write a book? Why I probably couldn't even write a book right now. The reason why we couldn't write a book is because we don't have, like, I don't have that much to say about one particular subject. You understand? So the only people who are out there writing books are people who typically, not all of them, obviously there's some crappy books out there, but for the most part, you can, you go on Amazon, you go on Audible, and you can look up the star rating. If it's a 5-star book, is a 3-star book, whatever, you can see, oh, this book has 100,000 5-star reviews. Then it's probably a good book, right? So the good thing about that is somebody, for whatever reason, has taken months and years out of their life to write these things down, and then all of a sudden they got 100,000 reviews, 5-star. Then you got to say to yourself, okay, maybe there's something in there, right? And what is that going to do? It's going to save you a lot of time. It's going to give you a lot of wisdom, but it's also going to give you perspective, okay? A perspective that you never had before. So what are some books that you need to read if you're 18 years old? I would recommend, like I said, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's going to tell you why you need to stop being a wagey and be an entrepreneur and eventually an investor, okay? The next stuff that you need to study is sales. Okay, so one book that I would recommend for sales is this book called Pitch Anything. Look it up. It's a book, I forgot who the author was, but it's a book called Pitch Anything. Another book that absolutely, totally changed my life. Okay, and this is because everything in life is about sales. Right now, I'm selling myself. Right now, Shiva, every time he goes on a YouTube channel, he's selling himself. Anytime you want to talk to a girl, you're selling yourself. Anytime you want to do a job interview, you're selling yourself. And anytime you're selling something, you're selling yourself. So everything is about sales in life. So definitely get your skills up. And Pitch Anything was one of the books that talked about sales in a way that was not boring. Okay. This guy would talk about, he would go into rooms with people and he would do the most obnoxious, craziest things just to get somebody's attention so that they could like open their mind up to listen to his boring sales pitch. And he was the first person that helped me realize that I needed to increase my audacity. And that's where this comes from, where you guys hear me now like, Carlos is so, he's off the hook, he's so, whatever Shiva calls it. It comes from this book, because what he basically explained is that the concept in that book is, he called it frame clashes. Okay, so I want you to understand something. In any conversation, I'm coming in with my frame, and you're coming in with your frame, right? And so somebody might have the moral frame, and somebody might have the, whatever frame is whatever paradigm you're coming from, right? And so whenever two people have a conversation, there's a frame clash. And the thing that happens is whoever has the stronger frame, they automatically, the other frame gets it gets destroyed by the stronger frame. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so he teaches you that in the form of sales. And so like this guy would walk into a room and let's say he was the type of guy that he would go to like these big businesses and try to close $1 million deals, right? And so imagine he's got to get the CEO on the phone and say, "Hey, my name is so and so, and I got this idea, and it's do you mind meeting with me for a couple of hours?" And then people be like, "No, f you, leave me alone, bye, leave me. I don't want to talk about it, bye, leave me alone, bye, bye." Right? And he would do that over and over until somebody would say, "Okay, fine, let's have a meeting." Then he walks into the meeting, and then people are like, "Okay, what do you want?" Because these people get pitched all the time. So what this guy said, the reason why I kept losing sales was because I wasn't breaking their frame. I didn't understand how to break the frame. And so what he started doing was he learned that he had to do certain things to get people's attention. All right. And I'll give you just one of the examples in the book that he would do. Imagine this. He walked into the office of a multi-million-dollar company. He's sitting there with the CEO. He walks in. As soon as he walks into the room, the CEO had an apple on the desk that he was, I guess, planning on eating later or whatever. The guy walks into the room, this sales guy. He walks in, he grabs the guy's apple, and he takes a bite out of it. He takes a bite out of it, and then he starts talking like, "Hey, so what's going on? How you doing?" And the CEO's sitting there like, "This guy just take a bite out of my apple? Like, what the heck? Like, who does he think he is, right?" But anyway, read the book. It probably sounds ridiculous, but just read the book. He explains to you. He did a lot of things around that way, but what does that do? It's an attention grabber. So I would say definitely learn about that. The next book that you need to get that I'm going to highly recommend is this book called what is it called? Radical Honesty. Okay,
Bareback.
Radical Honesty. I want you guys to understand this book, Radical Honesty. So the other problem that you're going to have in your life as you're 18 is you're going to try to hide a lot of things. Okay, you're hiding things from your mom, you're hiding things from your dad, you're hiding things from your friends, you're hiding things from your teacher. This is what you spend your 18 when you're 18, you try to hide everything. You try to hide you try to hide the fact that you like this girl. You try to hide everything. You hide everything about yourself, okay? And so what you're gonna realize is that in the long term, that's actually gonna hurt your life. Okay, you don't realize that you're actually doing yourself a disservice when you hide who you really are. Okay, and so you need to get yourself this book called Radical Honesty, and this is what it's gonna do when you learn radical honesty, right? So now it's gonna tell you basically the importance of not hiding anything. Okay, and it's gonna do two things. One, it's going to show you, okay, when I'm honest, guess what? A lot of people are doing the same thing I'm doing because we're all just human beings and we all have the same basic needs and desires, okay? So it's going to help you form and build connections with people. You're going to be a lot more relatable when you're honest, when you're radically honest. And the other thing it's going to do is going to take away a lot of guilt and shame around the things that you do. And the other thing it's going to do is it's going to also help you stop doing things that are wrong, that are wrong. Because if you have it in your mind that you're going to have to be radically honest everywhere you go, then you're going to say to yourself, you know what, maybe I shouldn't do this one thing because if I do it, then I'm going to have to talk about it. And if I have to talk about it, then I'm going to be embarrassed, right? So it's going to help you to cut out a lot of things that you shouldn't be doing. And it's also going to help you to have this inner what would you call it? It's going to help you build up your self-confidence, right? This inner confidence that you can't get when you're hiding who you truly are. So again, the book is called Radical Honesty, and that's another book I want you guys to pick up. So those are my 3 book recommendations for anybody who's 18-year-old, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Pitch Anything, and Radical Honesty. Okay?
I would recommend The Science of Getting Rich and How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Those are other books that I would also definitely read. I don't think I read that first one, but the How to Win Friends and Influence People, really good book as well.
Someone has a comment here. He says, Don't forget health. I started a successful LED business and invested in Bitcoin at 22. Now I'm 28 and have tons of cash. and own a house, but I'm now burdened with gut issues and autoimmune issues, mainly
Oof.
because I ate crap and didn't drink or didn't exercise. Drank and didn't
You know
exercise.
what? I would absolutely shout out to that comment as well. I also right now have an autoimmune disease just like you, buddy. Probably mine. I don't know how yours is bad, but it's a terrible lifestyle to live. So definitely, I would say, yeah. If I was to go back in my 18-year-old self, is I would focus on health. Absolutely, eat whole foods, guys. I don't care what diet you pick. If you want to be vegan, vegetarian, or whatever else, stop eating processed food. Stop eating junk food. Stop going to McDonald's. Eat whole food diet. Okay, whatever. And I don't know if you know what that means, but basically, only eat food that doesn't have ingredients in it, like no packaged foods. Just actually eat the ingredients themselves, right? Like if you go get broccoli, what's the ingredients in broccoli? There's no ingredients, it's just broccoli, right? If you eat spinach, it's just spinach, right? But what you guys are doing is you go and you're buying these packaged things at the supermarket. You look at the package, you turn it around, it says the ingredients. There's a list of 100 things in there. Half of them are chemicals, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, why? You turn 30 and you're like, oh my God, why am I not healthy? You get what I'm saying? So again, whole foods, as even if you can do organic, whatever, but absolutely focus on your health. So shout out to that comment right there.
Yeah.
Shiba, I was talking about when you were walking away very rudely, messing up the whole video. I was talking about the importance of being honest. What do you think about the importance of being honest when you were 18? Were you honest with everyone when you were 18, Shiva?
I already understood the principle of being truthful as a man, so I spoke the truth. Maybe I wasn't honest with myself and definitely could have been more honest. But yeah, that's a principle that I like to follow and still do.
So you would tell your mom that you would watch corn?
I mean, if she asked, I would think I would like to say that I did. But I'm not just gonna go up to her, hey, you know what I do? What is that? No, but
What I'm saying,
yeah,
there's look. What I'm saying is this, Shiva. Would you tell every girl that you had a crush on that you had a crush on her?
that's the first place that I practice honesty is with girls. I would just say it.
Nice. Okay. Nice. Good. Good. So maybe you didn't do too bad at that. But what I'm saying is that that's one major problem that I find with most people that age is that they hide so much about themselves. And what I want you guys to understand is this. Anybody who is above 30, I would say even 28 and above, they know you're lying. I want you to know that off rip because we all know we were all your age. We know what you're doing already. We know what you're doing. We know what you're thinking. And so when we ask you these questions and you lie about it, we already know you're lying. We already know you're lonely. We already know you're sad. We already know you want a girlfriend. We already know your girlfriend broke up with you. We already know you want money. We know all these things. We already know you're probably watching corn. We know that already. So when you're going around pretending like, oh, you got it all figured out and you get it all together, we know we know that it's cap. Okay. So you be honest. Be honest with the world. Constantly speak about the things that you do and don't do, and speak about the things that you want, and speak about the opportunities that you're looking for. Why? Because you're gonna get feedback. That's what I want you guys to understand. The universe doesn't know what you want. Okay. If you just have it in your head, right? Then you're not really putting it out there, and maybe you could be making a bunch of mistakes. But if you talk about everything that you do, good and bad, then what's going to happen is you're going to get feedback, and you want to surround yourself around people who are wise, who have wisdom, who have experience, and that way when you talk about it honestly about who you really are, right? They're gonna say, "Oh, hey, maybe you need to think about it. Do this differently. Don't do that. Try this route, blah blah blah," and you get feedback. Okay, so again, express yourself, talk about your problems, talk about whatever, and then fix it. Okay, and Shiva, anything on that before I swear I got another topic.
Nope. I think that's what else you got?
Okay, so the next most important thing that I would tell my 18-year-old self, this is one of the most important things that I ever learned. And I think I actually learned this from somebody in RSD. Who's the crazy guy like not Owen Cook, the other guy, the guy,
Julian?
Julian. I think it was Julian that taught me this lesson. He recommended a book that I don't know if, actually, you know what? It might, no, it was one of them recommended a book that it was something about, I don't think it was The Power of Now, but there was, I don't know, it was some book that basically said this. It basically said that whatever comes to your mind, if you have an idea, you have to always do it right now. Never put anything, do not ever put anything off, because what they would say in the book, what it explains is from the moment of the idea hitting your head, the longer that you take to implement it, the greater the chances that you'll never actually get it done, or that you'll forget about it or get distracted and move on to the next thing. So what I want you to do is whenever you have an idea, I need you to immediately take action on that idea. And what it's usually going to start off with is doing some research. Okay? So I need you to understand that the time is always now on everything. So let's say you're having a conversation with somebody and they're like, oh yeah, let's do this one thing. I got this idea. Okay, boom. As soon as you get out the phone, start doing the dang thing, whatever it is. If you get an idea, comes to your head, whatever it is, boom, okay, start doing it immediately at that second. Everything is right now. There is no later. There is no let's see, blah blah blah. Because this is what's gonna happen if you don't do it that way. First of all, like even me and Shiva, we ran into this problem all the time. Me and him, we want to do a podcast, and then it's like just getting me and him together at the same exact time. Sometimes it takes forever. That's why sometimes you don't see us do a video for 3 days, right? But when we do get a video done, it's because, right? We just boom, we're both ready. Let's do it right now. Hurry up, let's go. That's how things get done. But if you put, I gotta wait, I gotta delay, I gotta see, now things start piling up. All of a sudden, you get another phone call from your mom, or your doctor calls you, or your bank calls you, or your job calls you, and now you got another thing on your list that you gotta worry about. So things start piling up, and then that first thing that you wanted to do, it just never gets done. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know how to explain this. I forgot what the way that the book phrased it, but basically everything is right now. That's the takeaway I want you guys to take away. Do everything immediately. Put nothing off.
Yes, correct. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. That's also a very valuable book.
Yeah, The Power of Now is a good book as well. That's not the book that one that got me on this concept. But yeah, The Power of Now is very important as well. And that was all you ever have, right? What else, Shiva? What else was another thing you would tell your 18-year-old self?
Stop wasting time. Be disciplined. Find things that you need to do every day and do them, whether you like it or not, or you feel good or not. You gotta lay the bricks.
Lay the bricks, guys. Lay the bricks. Yeah, that's exactly right. So Shiva's doing that, for example, right now. As much as I disagree with everything that he does, one thing that he's doing right is he's doing his YouTube channel. I want you guys to think about that. No matter what happens to him at this point in time, as long as he doesn't do anything crazy, his videos will always be there on YouTube, constantly making him money. Those are the type of things that you need to focus on. Doing things that cannot be taken away from you. Right? Now, obviously, yeah, he's got all his eggs in one basket right now with all his videos being on YouTube. And I've talked to him several times about this. Maybe we need to, upload other places as well. We're not going to talk too much about that because I don't want to piss YouTube off. But doing things, like I said, laying bricks to build your castle in a way that it can't be taken away from you, right? So right now, Shiva, I don't know what's going on with his life. I don't know how he feels. I don't know what he's going through. He may be sad. He may be lonely. I don't know. But he's doing what he needs to do. and he's creating this video, and now this video is going to live on in perpetuity. Even after he's gone, this video is going to still be monetized, making money for him, right? Those are the type of things you need to focus on.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's it. That's all I've got, at least. Yeah, that's all for our show.
So Chris, I hope you liked the video. Once again, if you missed the beginning, I'm going to upload this to my channel. And I forgot who it was that bought the memberships. He bought like 5 memberships. Chris is the first one that took advantage of the perk for being a member. To all the other 4 of you who have memberships, just hit me up on the Discord and let me know what topics you want us to cover and discuss. We'll make videos just like this. And Chris, I'm going to upload this and I'm going to tag you in the Discord so you can rewatch the whole thing. I appreciate the idea. Actually, really great video idea. For anybody else who has a video idea, please make it as interesting as possible, because it'll be very difficult for us to make a video if you give us a boring subject. Make sure it's something that has a lot of meat on the bones, so that me and Shiva can actually have something to talk about and give you a video that's actually worth watching and not boring. Okay? So that's going to do it for us. Make sure you follow Shiva Kailash Shambho at Shiva Kailash Shambho on YouTube. Follow his Discord. The link is in his profile for his channel. Same thing with me. If you're watching me on his channel, my podcast is Scary Hours Podcast on YouTube. And also I have my Discord server in the profile link of my YouTube channel. So that's it for us today. We will catch you guys on
so we're live streaming. Thank you for watching. And right after this video, we're gonna go on Discord and talk to some Sadhguru person that doesn't like Sadhguru. So if you want to join the show, you can do that on Discord.
Let's get it. All right, thank you guys once again. We will see you guys on the next one.